These two brothers got to the core of the 220-year-old Oak Island mystery.
But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe to Happy World, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories.
For 220 years, this Oak Island mystery has been a center of attraction for a plethora of explorers. This wild hunt of island's hidden treasure has resulted in many tragic incidents, causing the loss of lives, fortunes, and families. This island had many intriguing stories and theories. One of them even says that the island will expose up the treasure for sure, but for that to happen, 7 deaths are required. However, this saying didn't hamper the determination of the Lagina Brothers of deciphering the island's secret. In 1965, Rick Lagina, who was 11 years old, was reading a copy of Reader's Digest, and one of the articles changed his life forever. He was flipping through the magazine pages when he came across an article pertaining to a 220-year-old mysterious Oak Island, located in Nova Scotia, Canada. The article said that there was a treasure hidden in the island. A lot of people had tried to find it, but their efforts were in vain. Rick started to explore the information about the treasure and dreamt of finding it one day. However, Rick Lagina had gone for his first ever treasure hunt just a year before. He was an innate explorer. He began his journey as an explorer from his hometown of Kingsford, Michigan. His first discovery was a huge granite rock which he was determined to move and find out what was hidden beneath it. With the help of 9 other people, including his brother Marty, he moved the heavy rock. They didn't find something historic or important, but it paved the way for him for his future endeavors as an explorer. With the course of time, the Oak Island treasure hunt became their only aim. The Onslow Company decided to investigate Oak Island in 1804. 8 years prior, Daniel McGinnis discovered a weird circular depression in the surface of the island, which intrigued the Onslow Company. During their investigation, the team of explorers found layers of oak logs, charcoal, and putty. They also discovered a stone tablet with an inscription on it. Many researchers tried to decode the inscription, but no one was successful. But in 1866, a professor at Halifax University deciphered it. Its translation revealed a dire message. The professor decoded the stone to read, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds lie buried. The translated message didn't expose much about the treasure though. Moreover, the whole mystery centered around a strange curse which says that the island demands the death of 7 people before it gives up the treasure. Until now, there have only been 6 deaths. One more death and the mysterious island will push up its treasure to the surface. The case seemed more outlandish than fiction. There are a lot of theories related to the treasure. One theory says that during the French Revolution, Marie Antoinette ordered her maid to flee Paris. The theory further suggests that later she fled to London and after that to Nova Scotia, where the French Navy helped her to build a pit to hide the treasure. The second theory suggests that Francis Bacon was the actual author of Shakespeare's plays and he had the manuscripts which exposed Bacon as the author of his plays. There are many more theories related to this mysterious island, but the next one seemed to have grabbed the attention of many. There is said to be a myriad Masonic markings on Oak Island, which gives the impression that the mysterious treasure relates to particular initiation rites which involves a hidden vault and sacred treasure. Some researchers like Daniel Ronstam and Peter Amundsen revealed that there may be hidden clues in Shakespeare's plays as well. It all began in 1795 when the teenager Daniel McGinnis, roaming around Oak Island, Nova Scotia, came across a strange circular depression on its surface. McGinnis was familiar with the rumors of the island's mysterious treasure. He decided to investigate further, so he gathered his friends to help. On further investigation, McGinnis and his friends John Smith and Anthony Vaughan found something which surprised them to the core. They dug the surface 2 feet and found a layer of flagstone. They further dug the surface for 30 feet and found myriad layers of oak logs equal to the length of the pit. 8 years later, they hit the spot again with the Onslow Company. What they discovered changed their world altogether. The explorers started to dig from the point where the teenagers left it 8 years ago. Digging in another 60 feet, the company discovered more layers of oak logs. Aside from the oak logs, the team found thick layers of charcoal, putty, and coconut fiber. At 90 feet, the company got their first big breakthrough, a stone tablet with mysterious inscriptions. Further digging resulted in water flooding the pit. To overcome this problem, a 100-foot pit was dug parallel to the original, and a tunnel was constructed to the money pit. But it was futile as it filled up with water as well. Had they dug into a booby trap? This water problem resulted in a 45-year delay in the search. It seemed that whoever built this pit had designed it in that way only just to keep the people away from the treasure. In 1847, the Truro Company embarked on a searching spree. After they discovered that the pit was flooding again and again, they came out with a drilling method. They were a notion that drilling core samples would be more fruitful. That indeed proved successful as the company discovered some amazing clues. After much drilling, the explorers discovered 2 chests full of coins. After getting to these chests of coins, the explorers observed that the surface deep inside the pit was loose, so they came back in 1850 to dig another parallel tunnel over to the money pit, but that effort went in vain as well. As water began to flow in, pumping was of no help as well. However, an incredible discovery was made at this moment. During the pumping, the explorers saw something at low tide at Smith's Cove. They noticed water coming out of the beach. This indicated that the original designers created a drain system, so the team came up with several other plans of no use. Finally, the Truro Company gave up. This was just the start. Soon, things got unusual. The next attempt was made in 1861 by the initiative of the Oak Island Association. The team didn't achieve much, no, but they experienced a tragedy as well. A boiler which was being used to pump the water out burst and burnt one of the workers to death. The company gave up in 1864. The rumors came after his death gained strength, and it seemed they weren't wrong. A group of unknown men came to know about the Oak Island treasure. They embarked on a journey to discover it, and the next discovery they made was a cement vault. The diggers broke into the vault and found a piece of parchment which was made from sheepskin and had various inscriptions on it like V, we, or we. These letters haven't been deciphered till now. Maynard Kaiser, a worker who was returning to the surface from the pit, fell into the shaft and lost his life. Actually, the rope he was tied to came loose and lost from the pulley, which resulted in his death. Despite such tragedies, a plethora of people tried to get to the mysterious treasure. In 1909, the old salvage group was intrigued by the mystery of Oak Island. However, they didn't make a valuable find. Franklin D. Roosevelt was one of the group members, and later he became the President of the United States in 1933. A year later, the team gave up this search, but Roosevelt continued his efforts pertaining to the treasure. In 1928, Gilbert Hedden, who was a businessman, came to know about the Oak Island mystery through a New York newspaper. He reached the island with his friend Fred Blair, and their investigation resulted in more interesting facts. They found old timbers in Smith's Cove. The next treasure hunter, Erwin Hunter, began his search in 1938. A year later, in 1939, he made 2 discoveries. In the money pit, he found some rocks and gravel, which according to him was foreign. Next, he found some oak splinters, some 176 feet down. A man named Robert Dunfield started his search for treasure on Oak Island with bulldozers and cranes. He dug 140 feet down the pit to the thick layer of limestone. Daniel C. Blankenship started his investigation in 1965. At 60 feet, he discovered a hand-wrought nail in a washer. He even found a wrought iron scissor which dates back 300 years and made in Mexico. In the 1970s, Dunfield teamed up with Blankenship with 2 other guys, David Tobias and Fred Nolan, joining them. They termed their alliance as the Triton Alliance. The team dug a 235-foot shaft called the Borehole 10X. The team used new technologies such as camera and lights in their operation. The camera captured many treasure chests, wooden cribbing, tools, and more. The team discovered several Roman carvings as well. This search operation was reported in the Reader's Digest. It was this operation which attracted Rick Lagina towards the mysterious treasure. Moreover, an episode on the mysterious Oak Island was aired on a TV show In Search Of on January 18, 1979. It was because of this show this mysterious island grabbed the attention of plenty of people. In 1983, Fred Nolan was sued by Triton Allowance over the ownership rights on 7 lots of Oak Island. The place was closed for further exploration until 2005, when the Lagina Brothers took the onus upon themselves. In 2005, a part of the Oak Island was up for sale for an amount of $7 million, and the Lagina Brothers from Michigan purchased a 50% stake in Oak Island Tour Inc. They started their quest for the treasure and soon came out with bigger discoveries. In 2014, Lagina Brothers got national attention when they were invited on a TV show on the History Channel. The title of the show was The Curse of Oak Island. Not only did it help them financially, but it made its case more credible. The brothers were specialized in different areas. Marty was a champion of digging deep wells and has a plethora of connections in the industry that could provide crucial help. Rick was a dreamer and was determined for this mission from the moment he came to know about it. He used to be in the US Postal Service, and Rick gave the push to his brother to buy a portion of Oak Island. With the use of sonar technology, the brothers found a 17th century copper coin. They also found other man-made objects, an antique Spanish coin. Many people had visited them when they were on the island, who showed them various pieces of evidence which showed presence of the treasure. During the third season of the show, the brothers took help from some more experts to decipher the sonar readings. They made major discoveries this season. They discovered a stone with Portuguese carvings, a Roman sword, and various other items, and more theories originated from their discoveries. The Lagina brothers got a copy of French map of Oak Island, which dated back to 1347 in Season 4. The map showed the exact location of the hatch, valve, and anchor. This gave rise to another theory which said that the hidden treasure may have come from Africa. The brothers were still high in spirits and weren't gonna give up. Rick Lagina believes it's quite simple. There's a story to be written up here, treasure perhaps, but it's a truly wonderful story from a long time ago. Every day it feels like we're turning a page of a really good book. I still believe. Rick is passionate about the search and he stated, "To me, life's a treasure hunt. We're all on one in our different ways and happen to be on a real one right now. But really, life is about reaching your goals, and that's what we always try to do." Charles Barkhouse, an Oak Island historian and the tour guide, said, "If anyone's going to solve this centuries-old mystery, it's going to be the Laginas. While they have the same drive, dedication, and perhaps stubbornness as their treasure-hunting predecessors, they also have something that other searchers didn't have, a willingness to listen." Barkhouse went on to say that many of the previous explorers wanted full reign over the entire project. The Laginas, however, regularly bring people to the island, engineering professionals, technology experts, historians to help them, he stated. Historian Charles Barkhouse has a notion that the island is like a sorcerer with a strong hold on people. He said, "Putting one's life at risk to find something that may or may not be buried is extreme. The mystery of Oak Island, though, is that powerful. The treasure hunt has become an obsession for many. David Blankenship, for example, still resides on the island and provides a helping hand during search operations. No one knows what's buried here, who buried it, or even where it's buried," Barkhouse says. "That's what excites people, the possibilities."